Welcome to MarTech Heads, the radio show that helps tech marketers stay ahead of the game. Hosted by Jeff Sheehan and Sarah Torville.
So Jeff Sheehan along with Sarah Torville and Media Frenzy from the MarTech Heads podcast radio show. And we have a great guest this afternoon, Kyle Porter, the founder and CEO of SalesLoft, one of the most exciting companies here in Atlanta as to what they're doing, and a company on fire, actually, one of Buckhead's and Atlanta's finest right now with regard to high tech and that. So, Sarah, aren't you delighted to have, we found Kyle walking by and all of a sudden he's on the show.
Like, come on in.
Absolutely,
We
come on in.
on an opportunity
And he volunteered.
like this.
What an opportunity.
Yeah.
So go ahead,
you're
Kyle.
too kind,
Tell us
too
about
kind.
yourself and what you're doing and everything else.
Well, first off, I'm super excited to be here today with you all and to be on the MarTech Heads podcast. This is super exciting, and this event is fantastic. I think it really represents something strong for the Atlanta community and for revenue generators across the U.S. and worldwide, really. And so I'm just excited to be here. I go on stage in about 20 minutes or so, and we're going to be talking about some really cool ways that companies can generate revenue. And I'm going to try to present some ideas that folks don't normally think about. So kind of some outside the box ideas on ways to make it rain inside your company.
That sounds great. Can you share any insights? Kind of give us a sense of what those ideas might be?
Yeah, sure thing. So, one of the ideas is that we've reached the point now where it's no longer a question of whether you should have a content marketing team, but most of the people that are in content marketing need to go through a baptism. And so one of the sections is about really taking that shower and cleansing the old content marketing bad habits and start injecting some new ideas. Things like really being yourself, getting out there and getting personal with your audience. I share the example of one of my favorite marketers, a guy named Rand Fishkin, who literally blogged on his corporate website about his depression. His company sells software for marketers, right?
Wow.
And so, but that type. Now, I'm not saying everybody has to blog about their depression or their sicknesses or anything like that. But the type of attitude that he had coming out and saying, I'm going to show myself to the world. I'm going to be transparent and open and vulnerable. That's one thing that marketers can do in content marketing. And there's just so many other things. We'll talk about sales development. We'll talk about some account-based marketing. We work with Terminus, obviously. That's why we're here. And just some other interesting ideas, all the way from breaking into a private Mark Benioff Salesforce.com party to all the analytics of running great advertising and lead gen.
So why do you think, forget the topic of depression, but why is that a good thing for marketers to be able to kind of sense someone's sentiment? What can they do with that?
Yeah, I'll tell you why, and I'll tell a story. As a CEO, I have a leadership team, and we're asking these folks to dig deep inside themselves and do things they've never done. Because we want SalesLoft, our company, to be the greatest job our employees ever have. And that requires our people to be amazing. And so on day one with our leaders, I go deep interpersonally with them. We talk about their childhood. I talk about the things that make me who I am today. And we establish this bond, this transparent, vulnerable relationship where they know that I care about them and I know that they care about me. And that allows us to do so much more. And so that's what Rand does when he gets out and blogs about, for example, his depression. He's coming out and saying, I'm going to let you down to the core of who I am. And what that means is that engenders a love and respect, so that when he says things like, here's the 8 SEO strategies you need to be looking at, people don't think, oh, that's a self-serving Rand Fishkin. That's the Rand we love, who loves us, who's out for our best interests, who we can trust. And so it helps build that relationship at the trust level.
And that's the authenticity piece coming through. And that's what SalesLoft is all about, isn't it? It's about touching on those sentiment points and building a discussion around those personal items, using social media to have that engagement. Is that correct?
Yeah, it all started off, I've been a sales guy my entire life.
Right.
And in the professional setting, I was a sales guy before I was a professional seller, but in the professional setting, I learned that the more I knew about my prospects, the more I could talk to help solve their problem, the more engaged I was to what they're specifically going through, the better the chance the deal went through.
Yeah.
So I started realizing, let's just go out and find as much information about these people as we can, but make it easy to consume and use. And we kind of started using this term called sincere selling. We still want to reach a large volume of people, but we want to do it sincerely. And so that was the origin of SalesLoft, is give sales professionals more information about the people and the companies they're selling into, so they can spend less time trying to research that data and more time getting to the heart of who their prospect is and solving their problems.
So have you seen some real success stories in this regard right now with regard to SalesLoft and what you've been doing?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
you've been at
You
a
can
while
tell by
now.
that smile.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
you
the
know
smile,
that
the
you've
rainmaker.
seen many successes.
Yes.
Well, we're up to 1,500 clients.
Phenomenal.
And
Amazing.
some of those clients have been around since the very beginning. And we have this really cool phenomenon with our customer base and our revenue base where every single month our customers upgrade their accounts more than the customers who downgrade or cancel. So if we didn't sell another deal, our customer revenue base would still grow because people are upgrading all the time. And so that just goes to show that people are using it more than they're throwing
A smart
it away.
business. You develop a sense of loyalty with them. Retention is phenomenal, and the acquisition is fine. But you're actually generating significant revenue by upselling, cross-selling, and everything else with
That's
these
right.
people, which is what you want to do in the sales area.
But tell me, how does that impact? I'm just thinking about the marketers watching this show who are responsible for content marketing. How do they get better then at serving salespeople with content? I mean, how do you customize each piece of content? You can't.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
We actually built a Chrome extension that we've deployed to our sales organization that holds the key to all the pieces of content that they could use at any given moment. So it runs in the right corner of their browser. They're engaged with a prospect, and let's say that prospect is in the software industry. They can click a button, click software industry. They can talk about the buying stage or the title, and you can see what content that we've already produced that matches to their needs. So that's one thing we've actually done. My company builds software for salespeople and
Correct.
kind of top of the funnel sales development reps. And there's a little bit of a blend and demand gen there is kind of setting up more qualified appointments and demonstrations. But our sales team is selling that software to other sales professionals.
Right.
And so they're then calling on our marketing content, the right piece of content for the right prospect that they're dealing with, and this tool helps them do that.
Right.
But I've seen folks use Google Sites and intranet sites where you have kind of around almost like a tree of decisions to find which piece of content is right for the right prospect. But I think there also are companies that should be solving this problem out in the marketplace. We're not one of them, but we'd be happy to use it.
Yeah.
What do you see as some of the trends or what disruptors coming down the pike?
Yeah, I think a big one is that for so long, marketers were buying big lists from list companies, and these lists are stale, out of date. If I took everyone at this conference right now and I put them in a spreadsheet, first name, last name, company name, title, email address, phone number, tomorrow those are going to be different. A month later, it's going to be stale, and 6 months later, it's going to be really bad. But living on the internet with social media and corporate websites, those stay fresh.
Yeah.
If someone leaves from VP of marketing at one company and goes to the next, they go to LinkedIn and they change their title.
Yes,
And so
perfect.
LinkedIn becomes the de facto standard for the best representation of people on the internet. And so tools like SalesLoft help our users and our prospects go in to find the right pockets of people they want and extract them from the live internet. So it's fresher
Identify
than
those
a
trigger
database.
points.
Yeah, well,
Right.
it's before you even get that far, it's just fresher data of who's first name, last name, company, and title
Yeah.
before you even get to the, what school they went to or what technologies they're using and things like that. And then the next piece is for so long the outreach to these companies. Even if an inbound lead comes in, you still have to call and email them and set up that qualification call, and sometimes it takes like 4 touches, even after they said, hey, I want to take this appointment.
Yeah.
And but what's happened is you've had all these disparate forms of conversation. You have your phone piece, phone on the desk or phone on your soft phone on your computer or a phone dialer application. You've got your email tool. Maybe it's marketing automation email, maybe it's a sales type tool email, and you've got your social, you got your interface for social platforms. And so what we're seeing is that communication teams are rolling these things all together into one platform that takes the data, first name, last name, company name, profile, information, and turns it into qualified appointment by integrating all those mediums.
I don't know about you, Sarah, but the passion is just overwhelming. I mean, it's filling the room, Kyle. To be quite honest with you. No wonder the company's been so successful. You're so passionate about what you're doing and just setting the world on fire with regard to the platform and everything.
You're too kind.
Can you give us a sense of what might be coming next
For
for you guys? I
yeah.
mean, what's the next thing we can expect?
So last year when we went to the Dreamforce conference, which is coming up,
Yeah.
we brought an impersonator of Mark Benioff, the CEO of the company. And this person walked around with our director of marketing, Tammy McQueen,
Yeah.
Right, yes.
and my director of sales, Anthony Zhang, who wore a full suit. He's ripped
Right.
and a headpiece, pretending like he was a bodyguard of
Right.
Benioff. And Tammy had her high heels on and her clipboard like she's the PR agent. And Mark Benioff came up to the fake Benioff. His security agents came up and said, "We know what you're doing, and Mr. Benioff likes it. He'd like to come meet with you and come to your booth and talk to you all." So he came
Clever.
over. We turned it into a great piece of content.
That's great.
So we've got some real exciting things up our sleeve for this year because my
Right.
goal has been I got to top that.
Yeah.
Now that's hard.
Yeah.
But we got some real exciting things we're doing there. On the product side, I think it's really accelerating the timeline between data and qualified appointment for your companies, whether that lead comes inbound or whether that's an outbound lead. And so imagine a system where you go in, you send the emails that are going out. They're all through the actual email system. You make the phone calls, you power dial with the headset on, kind of like an InsideSales.com. Then you have social drips that run all through one single platform, accelerating the timeline to set more qualified
Right.
appointments.
Well, I hate to say this, Kyle, but time has come to an end. It's been
Yeah, I
a
could
fascinating
keep talking.
conversation. And we'll certainly catch you again sometime.
Yeah,
Sarah
definitely.
and I have really loved having you on the show
Yeah.
and look forward to talking with you once again.
Yeah.
And wish you the best of luck with your speech this
Yeah,
afternoon.
good luck for that.
Well, thank you
And,
very much.
Not that you need it. You got it good. You're going to be,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
gonna
You're,
be fantastic.
you're on fire right
Yeah.
now, so hopefully you'll take
Because of
that.
you all.
No, and you'll be out there now. I can't wait to see it.
Fired up,
That's
ready to
awesome.
go.
Yeah,
So
fired
thank you
up.
so
Well,
much.
if anyone wants to know more about what we're doing, the best way is just subscribe to the
Right.
blog, and it's
Yeah.
just blog.salesloft.com. We make it really easy to check out stuff. We're not putting you on any list or anything, and we're producing a lot of content that's helping revenue generators bring more money to their businesses.
Right.
Well, thank you again, and
Very
have
good.
a great afternoon.
Yeah,
Thank you
perfect.
all.
Thank you.
Bye.